What is up, my Lorcana Goons? Welcome to the official first ever Lorcana Goonies, the Goonie Awards. I'm here with our co-host today. We have Ybreezy in the house. Hey, what's up, my friend?
Ooh, how are y'all doing? Happy New Year, everybody. Hope y'all having a fantastic 2024. Welcome to the Goonie Awards.
Love it. Love to see it. We're going to go over some of our favorite cards, some of our favorite content creators, and some other stuff that we just kind of wanted to recap as we end the 2023 season and enter 2024. This is going to be the first official full year of Lorcana because we did start sometime in August, September. So we've only had a couple months in 2023, but man, it has been a ride for the goons. You know what I mean? And I do want to say real quick, like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Lorcana goon. We do appreciate it. It helps support the channel, and it's the first day of the year in which we're filming this, so we're super excited and hyped to express our opinions. And
Oh,
everything we're gonna say is an opinion. We didn't do any crazy voting or anything. We didn't ask the Academy for their opinion. We're just going off the cuff here on what we think are the best cards. But I do want to start off here with the top five most meta impacting cards. Now, this is a discussion that Ybreezy and I had for a cool, like a full day, basically discussing what are the best cards in the meta that we've seen so far. Not just in terms of like how strong they are, but basically in terms of how much they impacted our deck building, our play style, and just overall trying to figure out like what we need to adapt to, right? So what do you want to say about some of the cards we got in here, Ybreezy?
well, at number five, we have the one drop, the Ballroom Sensation Cinderella. We Steel Song basically kind of changed its body entirely when a one drop can sing a three song, which included a card that was basically a better smash that gave you draw power. It was just a game changer for all Steel Song players. It was a four off immediately, and we see it in the market value as well. But I think this card just unlocked the deck to be on a different level when it came to just being able to consistently pull out songs every single turn.
Yeah, the card definitely started making you consider other options to play on your turn one, turn two, so that you can out a one drop character that can basically give you three free ink, and comboing it off with Let the Storm Rage On, Friends on the Other Side, Strength of a Raging Fire, really meant that you just can't play like your regular one drops and two drops comfortably. Everybody's playing the
Mhm.
Olafs and the 1/3s right now because of the Cinderella ability to be able to deal two damage. No one's playing Goons anymore because Goons
Oh
loses
yeah,
out. Goons loses out to Little Cindy. So
Goons, the Flounders, it's over for them, unfortunately. This really blocked those big one drop bodies that were a little bit more comfortable being able to just attack for two potentially. And and also the friends on the other side situation is pretty insane for those aggro decks that are just trying to win by turn, I don't know, five. So being able to get more draw power in a deck that they will gas out by turn two is incredible, especially for free. And this card really changed that as well.
yeah, I also just want to quickly mention that they gave us a shiftable Cinderella too to go along with it, and we just didn't need that extra power creep, and that just makes it even better.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
makes it even better. The card can survive
Yeah.
from turn one to turn five, even turn four if you have a lantern, and boom, you play Cinderella Stout-Hearted right on top so that you can secure the bag. I think it's super powerful, but almost as powerful as our
Mhm.
next card, number four. This is gonna go out to one of my favorite cards of the format, Giant Tinkerbell, the 6-drop AoE that deals 1 damage to every character on the opposing board. Very, very powerful. And everybody thought this card was gonna lose value when Resist came out. You know what I mean? And oh no,
Mhm.
it seems like it's kind of dominating the meta space again, because especially now in the second format where we're seeing Steel have a like strong dominance in Emerald Steel, Amber Steel, Amethyst Steel.
Definitely.
They're all playing Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy. And one of the cool things about the Chapter One format, and if you guys weren't playing Chapter One format yet, you kind of missed out on some interesting interactions when both players would have Giant Sink, and you guys were just waiting to see who would strike first, and
Mhm.
how do you play around the extra ability of dealing two damage. You know what I mean?
The two damage math was a whole different experience if you played any type of steel in your decks. And this card, since the moment I read it, it has not just it always was a lock at four. The moment you start thinking about steel, you're playing at least three copies because it's just so good. The one damage AoE is incredible. the ability to just attack things and just dish out extra two to something else that you don't want to really attack, or just add that extra ping. It's incredible. It pairs well with so many good cards. It can sing grab your sword as well if
Mm-hmm.
you shift into it. So you're
Mm-hmm.
doing 3 AoE damage in a combo.
Mm-hmm.
It just does so much. And it has a good body on it too, 4/5, so it's a little annoying. It doesn't die to the greatest villain song. It has a lot to offer.
Yeah, definitely goaded, in my opinion. And speaking of goaded, you want to reveal the third spot?
Ooh, transition at number 3. We have the Merlin Goat. I mean, where do we even begin? This card has been a nuisance ever since it just got played. Someone figured it out that you can just don't have to quest to win games anymore. You can just bounce your little happy goat and snatch out games. Especially with Ruby Amethyst, where their biggest problem was that middle turn 3 to turn like 6 before the Be Prepared can get unlocked, where they would lose games because they couldn't keep up. There was a lot. The game was like 0 to 14, and they couldn't just keep up. But with this, you have the option. And not only that, this also complemented the aggro decks, because now you don't have to worry about reaching to race 20. You can kind of end your aggro rush around this even 17 mark, where you can kind of play around and get your goat to lure out and win the game. I think this card is absolutely bonkers, and it's just makes the whole game different.
Yeah, it definitely makes the entire game different. For one, it kind of just breaks the mechanic, right? Like you said, you don't have to quest to
Yeah.
win in Lorcana, and maybe that's what the creators were intending. Maybe they were maybe they were making the game with the intent that there's going to be multiple ways to secure your win condition, and we know this now with locations coming out in 2024. Locations are going to also be
Yeah.
going to be able to generate lore for you. So if you thought goats were bad, just wait until there's horizontal location cards giving
Location.
giving lore. So it does give us a different perspective on how we're supposed to look at Lorcana. I think in the first chapter we were kind of focused on like, oh, they're at 17, 18 lore. I better not lose the race to a Lilo or something. And now you have to start thinking
Right.
about that by 12, 13 lore, because the goats can just be so impactful in like 2 turns, man. And it's so impactful that you
Absolutely.
you can't even really play around it unless you're using cards like our number 2 slot, Whole New World, which is going to make your opponent discard cards in their hand, like goats, for example. And we're giving this number
Oh
two.
my goodness.
Yeah, we have to give the number 2 spot to Whole New World, everybody's favorite lucky roulette casino card. It's like you're at Las Vegas every time you're
The
playing this deck,
wheel.
right? As they say, Wheel of
The wheel,
Fortune.
man.
Yep, yep. Drawing seven's pretty
Oh
good,
my
don't you think?
goodness. Who would have thought just getting your entire hand back if you have no cards in your hand was gonna be good, right? Like no one would assume that was one of those cards that just read like a insane card. This draw 7 if you have no cards in your hand and make your opponent lose their entire hand like crazy. It just locked in most steel decks immediately, and it just changed the way that you can just replenish your hand and just keep going. And that offers so much for decks that can just kind of extend a little bit more.
Yeah, this was one of those cards that the moment it was released, before the game was even live, right? You just read this card and you just knew, wow, this card should not exist. It
Yeah,
is very fun. It made the chapter 1 format so interesting, and
definitely.
you realize very quickly that you can deck out in Lorcana because of this card. You realize that
Oh yeah.
draw power is kind of important in this game. You know what I mean? As much as tempo
Mhm.
is, and this card does both. It literally like keeps your tempo going and gives you draw power. And giving your opponent 7 cards sometimes is worth it. You know what I mean? But there's nothing
Yeah.
even better in the Lorcana meta game right now than our number 1 slot. Ybreezy, do the honors, please.
Number 1. I mean, be prepared. Is this even a question?
Right.
It is the most absurd card in the game. I'm not pro ban list or anything like that, but if they do decide to ban a card, just one, it has to be this one. It's absolutely game wreckingly strong. Turn 6, you're starting sweating if your opponent is a Ruby. It's a just you're worried about this card after turn 7, no matter what happens. Not even in turn 7. Some people ramp up. The popsicles got to 7 by turn 5, and now you're just sweating. Just can't go wide. It keeps your opponent in check.
Mhm.
This card is just, it reads and it's a song. You can play it for free
Yeah. Oh
with
my gosh.
Hades.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Yeah. You know,
how did this happen?
it's an unconditional AoE, you know, and although it does remove your characters as well on the board, most of the time that doesn't matter. And
It doesn't.
especially in the second format when we're combining it with cards like Rabbit, you know, so I draw cards when they Cusco. Like you said, the card itself keeps your opponent in check. And it makes sure that if you're playing a deck and you run into the Ruby matchup, you can't just kind of close your eyes and spam the board. You know what I mean? Like you really have
Mm-hmm.
to
Can't go
consider.
wide.
Yeah, you have to consider like what's gonna happen, and you can. And what I really like about Be Prepared is that a lot of like, and I say this like, you know, with a grain of salt. A lot of players like feel that this card is like, oh, it's so broken and you can't play around it, but you definitely can play around Be Prepared. I want to say like at least half the time. Like you don't overextend, and you
Yeah.
kind of extend just enough to let them be prepared. But then that's the thing about like meta defining cards, and this is why we put it on this list as number one. Like it starts to become a mental game, man. If your opponent makes that read that you're playing around it, they'll hold it post turn 7. Then when they see you go off, boom, there's Be Prepared. You know, the reason I'm playing Ruby Amethyst right now is because a one whole new world will not win you the game most of the time. In my opinion, you need like
No.
most of the time you need like multiple whole new worlds, or you need like something else in succession with it. However, one Be Prepared can win you a lot of games. Like just having one Be Prepared against certain players will literally just end the game.
Incredible.
If you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, if you're a duelist like us, Dark Hole is basically the equivalent of this card, and Dark Hole was banned at one point. And I like how you said pro ban list. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I like the card. I don't think it needs to be like banned immediately or whatever. But you know, in the Lorcana metasphere right now, it is very very powerful. It completely changes the way we play in the meta. But honorable mention, real quick, for this meta defining card, we forgot to mention our favorite Flavor Sham Popsicle, which was the best deck of the format for like a week. You know what I
It
mean?
had a fantastic run. Everyone was excited for ice cream. Everyone was just like, this is the best card in the game. How can it not be? And then people started playing the deck, which was good. It still is doing okay, but a lot of people struggle to kind of figure out, yeah, we're getting so much advantage, but unfortunately both colors just didn't offer a win condition in the sense of like there wasn't a lot of like just things you can do to just get on the board and win more. And
Mhm.
that's why it just started losing quite a bit. I feel like kind of got caught up because if you just take care of their big bodies with control, they got nothing. All those card draw just doesn't do anything.
Overall, it was kind of funny to see Flavor Sham go from a $10 starter deck, rare, all the way down to like
Infinite money glitch.
yeah, infinite money glitch, man. Kind of absurd, but hey, it just goes to show that the hype is real, my goons. And if you guys are following the channel, you'll know that we keep up with the hype to inform you what's real, what's going on. But hey, man, shout out Flavor
Oh yeah.
Shan Popsicle for having a good run. I know it'll make a comeback. We'll see it make a comeback. The cards are just too good. But
We want it.
we'll go on to our next category. This next category is going to be going over the top 5 legendaries overall. And the reason we're talking about this and separate from like meta defining cards is because legendaries hold a specific kind of a state of the game right now in Lorcana. Like it feels like most of the legendaries from chapter 1 were really good, and then Rise of the
Yeah.
Floodborn legendaries are just mid. You know what I mean? Um, Overall
They
though,
were good. They messed up.
yeah, and what's cool about legendaries is that they kind of come in and out of the format. You know, they don't really stick around like the way some of the staples have been, like the cards we just mentioned. Some of these legendaries will go up and down in price. Some of them were the most expensive in the game for a while, and now they're not even near those prices. So we're gonna start off with our number 5 slot. This one's gonna go out to everybody's favorite enchanted rare, Elsa, Spirit of Winter, the most expensive enchanted rare. Now we're talking about the card
Ooh.
itself, not the rarity. We're talking about just Elsa, right? But this does come in an enchanted rare, so I do want to bring that in. It's
Bonus.
extremely powerful legendary in chapter 1. Not seeing a lot of play in Rise of the Floodborn, but in the first chapter, man, on turn 8, Elsa would just make you feel
Everywhere.
bad. Yeah, yeah, definitely feels bad when they
Oof.
drop an Elsa on you, right?
Absolutely. This card, the freeze for 2 characters. Chapter 1 gameplay. If you guys have not played Chapter 1, the emotional distress of getting your potential win get swept out of you because Elsa just came into the board and just stopped your whatever you're about to quest is a pain that you just had to be there for. It got cut, like you said, due to the animals that Chapter 2 brought. I feel like it just got cut, but I think it was very strong, and some decks are still running it for that reason. It just offers so much control.
Right. Almost as good as our number 4 slot, we have everybody's favorite market goon that was just surfing up and down the prices and is not really
Yeah.
seeing play as much either.
We got the Surfer Stitch, the legendary himself, the draw 2 if he got 2 characters on the board. It, it hit a $40 mark because it won the big event. It won the 2 case tournament, and it was running at 3 copies, if I remember correctly, and it just skyrocketed in price. And everyone was freaking out. And it's a great card. People were kind of deciding which Stitch is the better Stitch. This one, Rockstar. This one, Rockstar. And it's a really good card. I mean, being able to just draw 2 off the rip, it's great. Offers that opportunity to just get more. It complemented well the Steel Song play style a lot. I think that's where it saw the most play. And like you said, it just played a little yodely in the
Right, our right on Surfer Stitch, gone in the meta, but definitely not forgotten. And only $10 right now if you guys want them. Just throwing that out there. It's a great card. Our number 3 slot for the top 5 legendaries is gonna go to everybody's favorite emo hero. We got Sad Boy Beast, aka Beast Tragic Hero. Another card that lets you draw extra cards in Lorcana, man. Some of these legendary, the ones that draw cards, I think they're pretty nice. This card being
who
featured.
knew?
Right. Who knew? This card being featured in Rise of the Floodborn and now in every steel deck, like we were just talking about a little while ago. Sad Beast that lets you basically draw a card extra per turn if he's undamaged. And if he is damaged, then he becomes a 7/5. Yeah, a 7/5, which can basically clear almost any
Yeah.
character right now. Yeah, very powerful card, and it synergizes very well with some more cards in the Amber deck. Like our next card, our number 2 slot, Ybreezy. Tell us who it is.
My favorite Amber card in the game, Rapunzel, gifted with healing, 4-drop, 1/5, heals 3, draw a card for each heal. You draw 3 and heal 3? I mean, this card's insane. This card is just so good. Who knew drawing cards with abilities was going to be good? But here we are, best legendaries offer all of that. It's incredible. It has so much versatility. It offers a lot. And if you're running Amber, most likely you're playing this card in some shape or form. If you have it, it is a little pricey. But if you do have the option, you play this at least at 2 copies at most Amber decks. And there's a good reason. Drawing 3 is good.
Yeah, I also do want to mention that they just given this card more support also in Rise of the Floodborn with they gave a shiftable version of Rapunzel, they gave a 1-drop Rapunzel, and then
Okay.
there's even the Mother Gothel that comes in damaged, and you can combo it off with Rapunzel to draw 3 cards in the Ruby Amber deck, man. And I think one of the cool things also about Rapunzel was it became kind of mandatory to play in any Amber deck, whether you're playing Amber Sapphire or Amber Steel, and the reason for that was because players would get punished for not playing around your Rapunzel. If they ever let you deal 2 or 3 damage to one of your own characters, you got so much value, and it's just so crazy. It's just so crazy to me how like in this format, you still have to play around Rapunzel, but it's not as like respected as it used to be. I was playing in a tournament this weekend, and I finished my round against my opponent. He was like, "Hey, were you playing around Rapunzel the whole time?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course," And he was just like, "Oh yeah, man, you're breaking my back," and I'm like, "Yeah." It's a very good legendary, but when you learn how to play around it, or like when the cards come out that offer you the ability to play around it, like Lady Tremaine, it does kind of lose a little bit of its value, but still, nonetheless, one of the most impactful legendaries in the game. Drawing 3 cards, there's like not many other cards that let you do stuff like that, right? But go ahead and introduce our final number 1, the spot for top 5 legendaries.
The number 1 legendary, it's just the best legendary, is the Ruby Red Dragon Maleficent herself. A free 9-drop removal on the spot. Play, get rid of a card, see you later, out to the banish. it it's so good. It's a free Dragon's Fire that's also inkable. Incredible option. If you somehow mulligan it out of it, it's gonna come back to your hand. That's just kind of what happens, unfortunately. But it's inkable. It makes it better. It's a free removal. With your control, you're gonna be at 9 ink eventually. You want to see that dragon in your hand around that time. It's just so good, and it's a mandatory 4 of in most Ruby included decks.
This card is timeless, and this card is also featured in the D23 promo set, basically the original announcement of Lorcana. Which, you know, me, like I'm a nerd for that, dude. Like, you know, I like the market watch stuff because that's the reason kind of what got me into Lorcana was I saw these D23 promo cards released, and I'm a big card game nerd, so I thought like, wow, this looks just like Hearthstone. It reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh, it reminds me of Pokemon, Kaijudo, etc. And when I read Maleficent Dragon, immediately I thought like, play it, banish a character. It's a one-shot removal, timeless in a game like this. I just feel like this card, if they ever do like a ban list or like rotations, this card should never leave. Such a great card. And a fun fact, the original printing, the original printing of the card says that you have to choose an opponent's character to banish, and then when they printed it in the first chapter, it says chosen character, so you can choose your own character, right? Which is very important because sometimes you do want to banish your own character. Yeah, you want to banish your own character sometimes to trigger the goat. Yeah, yep, banish the goat for game, or banish a rabbit to draw a card. You know, so you know, in our opinion, the best legendary to come out of Lorcana so far. But we do have an honorable mention.
For honorable mention, I do have a just due to its ink color, just not being as playable. I do have the Hades as an honorable mention. It's also free removal, but it does give you an ink for an opponent to play next turn, and it's uninkable. But you do see it in most Sapphire bodies. It's just a staple. It's basically their own dragon, and I think it's very solid as just an honorable mention, just because it's not as meta defining like Maleficent is, where you see it everywhere.
Hades the Infernal Schemer, a true goon in a nature, right, for the Disney filmography. But enough of the card style goons for the meantime. We're gonna go over some social media Lorcana goons, some Illumineers who have been dedicating the content creation, but not necessarily dedicating to the YouTube side of it or the video side, but some people who have been dedicating to the social media side, and we're encompassing Illumineers goons who have been on Discord, Instagram, TikTok, people who have committed to their websites that have been helping a lot of players get information about Lorcana, deck lists, and just overall some good content. You know what I mean? So we did kind of step away from the YouTubers for this one because we really wanted to specify that this is for the social media goons, the people who are out there on all these other amazing platforms, giving it their all to provide for the community. So, and big shout out to anybody and everybody who is making content on social media. I hope we didn't, you know, we're not trying to forget anybody or leave anybody out, but there's just so many people, you know. But
for bias purposes, one of the best discords out there, the Goon Discord. Don't forget to join. Link below.
Just
saying, it's one of the best ones out there.
Thank you.
For conflict of interest, we could not put that in there. But if you want to hang out with the goons, link below. But at number 5, another Discord that I'm a member of, the 20 Lore Pro Discord. These guys are just pumping out tournaments, doing the streams for the tournaments now, with the ability to spectate. They're offering big tournaments for Pixelborn, and they just saw one of the biggest entry count at 200 plus, and it was a huge deal. They're awesome, and they cover their deck list, so it's available for content creators to just be able to look at, and it's honestly one of the best spots to be if you're trying to compete and watch other people compete, really.
Yeah, they held a free tournament when Rise of the Floaterborn that just kind of like taking the meta over, like in the last, like, was it 3 weeks ago, and there was like 70 some players, and the first place prize was like $400 or something, or like $100 or something, and like that's just really cool to see, man. There's not that many people doing free tournaments, free online tournaments, and I dwell also in the 20 Lore Pro Discord. Shout out Manticore, by the way, for introducing it to me. Amazing also person, but content creator. But anyways, guys. This Discord, I will kick it in because people like Ducky, people like Zepha, they're in here streaming their games. They're in here talking about their matches, talking about their tournament experiences. People are posting their deck lists and giving good opinions. I had my 1K this weekend that I did pretty well at, and on the way to the 1K, I was literally in this Discord looking at Ruby Amethyst lists and reading comments and deciding, well, what should I play? How do I play it? And I
Well,
think,
setting.
yeah, I think
Right.
it helped a lot. So shout out 20 Lore Pro Discord. I'm gonna put links in the description to all
Such
these
a cool
amazing
place.
people in the descriptions below. So no spoilers, but yeah, be sure to follow them. Our next number 4 slot in the top 5 social media goons is gonna go to none other than the Twitter queen of Lorcana, Lorcana Queen. And if you didn't know, by the way, this is a duo, a husband and a wife. I did listen to their, I believe it was the Citizens of Lorcana podcast they were on, and
Yeah.
both of them work very hard to produce amazing short form reels content. If you're a pack opening fiend like me, they're definitely one of the better people to follow on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Lorcana Queen, they're one of the nicest people, just overall that I've ever like interacted with. They've been super kind. I bought their frames. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. I do have my own 3D printer, but they're on a different level when it comes to the one of my favorite things I bought were Lorcana related. And not only that, they were so kind enough to send me the Beast playmat. So they've just been nothing but amazing, and their reels, the way they just record it with the packs, every card, like they do a little clip with the movie,
Hmm.
and it just matches so perfectly. It's just a very they're one of the most creative accounts out there, not only you video wise, but the frames that they're working on. It's just incredible content, and they honestly deserve all the love they're getting. They just recently hit 1,000 followers on Twitter as well.
Hmm.
So congrats to them. And yeah, if you want cool frames and all that stuff, and want to watch some amazing pack openings, they're your people. At number 3, I have one of my favorite websites I have bookmarked on my computer whenever I want to net deck some decks on my streams. The Mushu Report website. This website offers, it's basically a library for all the content you need for all competitions. There's articles written by other content creators there as well. It offers the deck list from big events. You can just look at it, see the copies, everything else. Um, they've been doing it for a very long time. They report their own videos as well, and overall, it's just a very great tool for anyone that just wants to see the deck lists fast as well. They're rapid with that thing, and they're great people. Like it's one of those places where you want to go for any information you want to see on like a big 1K
Yeah,
or
man,
box event.
they're really on it. I remember when all the cards are getting revealed, they're super like boom, boom, boom to put it on their socials, their
Oh yeah.
website, the information. They did basically a breakdown on what the locations are going to be doing in Lorcana. They're a great reference point. I hear a lot of people always mention them like at locals or something. Like just check Mushu Report, bro. Like when's the next drop for XYZ on the release date? Mushu Report, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, shout out Mushu Report, super impactful in the Lorcana community right now, man. No. But
Oh
yeah, that is
yeah.
going to be the number 3 spot for social media goons. And now we have our number 2 selection for the top 5 social media goons. This is going to go to an awesome homie, I would like to call her. They do short form content on Instagram. They post it on Facebook as well. I've seen them post it, I believe, on Twitter. I'm not sure if she posted on Twitter, but overall, probably honestly, one of the funnier content creators that we have right now. I feel like not a lot of people are doing this, like, this skit style vertical content, and she does a really good job being creative with like the game itself. And if you guys need to go check out her channel, so shout out Lorcana Illuminary, based mainly on Instagram. She posts regularly bits and jokes and skits about playing the
Okay.
game, colors. Some of my favorite reels have been when she imitates the colors, and she puts puts on the sweaters that have like, she pretends to
Hmm.
be Ruby, she pretends to be Emerald, and they have like discussions
So
of like,
funny.
yeah, like what are we playing at locals today? And like Ruby has a mean attitude, you know what I mean? And like Amber is literally just
So good. She's incredible.
she's very creative. I really enjoy seeing her post. Another thing too, she cosplays. She plays with her family at leagues. She's really just like
Yeah.
a family
Awesome.
icon, for like for like Disney Lorcana peeps. And
Yeah.
if you're somebody who's into the game on a family friendly level and you just kind of want to experience it on a like really wholesome vibe, I highly suggest you check out the Lorcana Illuminary. Rebecca, aka Rebecca. So, and by the way, Rebecca, if you're watching this, thank you for just all the sweet DMs and everything. I'm sure you've talked to Ybreezy as well. She's an awesome person. Anything you want to say?
Yeah. I do want to point one specific video that really got the Christmas spirit going. She did a Christmas Carol with Lorcana, and it's like one of my favorite videos
It's like all lyrics, right?
of the.
Yeah, all
It
Lorcana
was it was
lyrics.
incredible.
all.
It was so good. It was one of my favorite things. It was one of my favorite contents of Lorcana I've seen. It was just so creative. It sounded amazing, by the way. Beautiful voice and everything. So, yeah, she's incredible. I love her content. I love skit content.
Mhm.
So it just hits a specific spot in my feed, and I appreciate her for blessing us with her hilarious content. And yeah, can't say anything. Just, she's awesome. And at number one, we have to throw it back a little, all the way back, way before even the cards were out. We have the Lorcana headquarters Discord. I mean, this has been the backbone of the beginnings, right? This was the place where people were speculating cards and talking about the one or two cards when Chapter One was just kind of getting teased throughout the expos, and it's where it all started, right? That you see
Mhm.
everyone there, all the content creators been there. It's just the beginning grounds of this beautiful community, and it's definitely a great spot. And their Discord's always active. You can get the deck list there. There's just a little bit of everything for whatever you're looking for. You can just talk about Lorcana all day with people. You can talk about just Disney with people. It's a fantastic place if you're just trying to get into the community as just in general, as someone that just wants to talk to people within Lorcana. And it's awesome, and it's been there for the longest time. So
Yeah.
as long as this game is gonna be alive, it's gonna be active.
No, yeah, they're super. They're a legacy at this point. I feel like they were like one of the first spaces in Lorcana online, like in the online space, that I was able to kind of find to just interact with people who were from a different from a range of backgrounds in the game. Like this is my first TCG to I've been playing
Hmm.
TCGs to I just like Disney. You know what I mean? And like you said, man, this is where I first heard
Yeah.
of Ducky. This is where I first heard of Bjorn fought some of the best players in Lorcana right now in Pixelborn. And yeah, you just have to
Hmm.
stay connected on these platforms because it really does help a lot. So shout out to all of the social media goons. They do want to give an honorable mention to the Forbidden Mountains Facebook and website. This is another huge
Oh
platform
yeah.
that people reference all the time, and they have an amazing YouTube channel as well. So make sure you guys go check them out. They just hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Shout out you guys. Love you guys' channel. Love seeing all of the tournament reports that you guys enter as well, and I love seeing the overall commitment to the game. And I'm sure me and a bunch of other people appreciate it. You know what I mean? I did leave. We did put them in the
Absolutely.
honorable mention because they have a huge YouTube channel. You know what I mean? And but make sure you check out their
Oh yeah.
Facebook. Make sure you check out their Facebook and their website.
And he's a fantastic, like they're a fantastic caster. He shows up in the tournaments, does the coverage, and it's fantastic. And I'm glad that the Facebook community is going strong there as well. And he's the 3K YouTuber out there as well, just doing phenomenal work and putting in amazing content out there.
Yeah, speaking of casters and live streams,
Ooh.
we have our next category. Why, Reezy? I'm gonna let you introduce this one.
I do dabble in the streams. Again, conflict of interest. Just but a little. If you guys want to have a little Cusco fun, Twitch.tv/Ybreezy, you might see a little electric over there. But we got best streamers to watch Lorcana. I'm a big lurker. I have it on my work. So these top five means a lot to me. These people are awesome. You should definitely check him out. But at number five, we have Earlmeister himself. One of he's just going to locals, streaming his local draft night. He's doing that. He's doing the Pixelborn. He's always active on the chats. He's been nothing but kind, and he's always fun and just brings out energy when he goes to the locals. Plays draft there. Being able to see live drafts is really entertaining, and Pixelborn quality is always fun as well. He makes unique decks that are not just steal song or anything like that. You can just watch fun decks with him.
Yeah, I think Earl Meister streams like almost every weekday in like the mornings, like West Coast. I
He's
want to,
busy, man.
yeah, like yeah, he does. He's committed. He's committed. So and I found him on like Twitter and then Twitch as well. And I just same thing. I started just keeping up with his deck list because he likes cooking in the lab, you know. And I really gotta appreciate that about the
He's one of the
streamers.
goo guys.
Number 4 slot for the top streamers, we have Vonderland. And correct me if I'm wrong, Breezy, but Vonderland plays a lot. He's like up there in Grandmaster Pixelborn, right?
He is up there. He grinds out.
Yeah.
He's in. He's playing the meta. He's in there, and he's informative. He tells you everything. He's not one of those people that get quiet. He's just good at the streams, man. He's good and doing the good gameplay, which is hard to do, and I have to applaud that.
Yeah, I feel like I see his name all the time in the Discord channels we just mentioned. Very active in the community as well in terms of, like you said, keeping people informed on like the metagame and just his opinion on stuff. And he backs it up by playing his games on Twitch live. And guys, these are very important people in my opinion, if you want to kind of keep up with how to play Lorcana correctly, because they're active, and they're in the top ranks of Pixelborn. They play all the time, and all you got to do is comment a question, they'll answer it. Half the time I'm in these streams and I ask them, why'd you mulligan this instead of this? Why did you play this instead of this? And they're all super eager to just explain it. But if you want something a little more casual too, there's plenty of other streamers. Like our number 3 slot, we have our number 3 slot for streamers going to none other than Lorcana cards. Meow meow, right? Lorcana card.
Meow meow, indeed. The cat family.
Yeah,
The cat
yeah.
family of Lorcana. They're one of the nicest people I've ever talked to. If you like casual, family-friendly Lorcana content that you can just put up on your TV with family and just have it in the background while you play your own Lorcana games, Lorcana is the place to be. They're family-friendly. They're just positive vibes. They don't play, the super metas. They try very unique decks that really is interesting. It's casual. They do pay attention to like budget decks as well. They're consistent. It's a good time. They just got their affiliation on Twitch, so congrats to them as well. A lot of congrats going on in this video, but they just got their affiliation, so they should be able to get subscribers and all that stuff, which is exciting for them. And yeah, overall, just one of the best family positive channels out there.
And if you want to take a little break from the family positivity and get into some more meta grinding, we have our number 2 slot from the former number 1 player on Pixelborn. This number 2 slot is going to go out to this streamer who dedicates a lot of time to not only playing Lorcana, playing new decks on stream, but also grinding in those, like I said, top 25 Grandmaster ranks. So we have it to the OG creator of Amber Steel, basically, Ducky. Ducky has been like super active on Pixelborn and Lorcana since before the game even came out, because Pixelborn, as we remember, was was up and running before a lot of the cards were even available, you know what I mean, in person. And we had tabletop simulators, with people playing with the cards that were being released little by little. And Ducky was like the first name I heard in Lorcana in terms of like, oh, are you playing the Ducky list? And it was just Amber Steel, Amber Steel, whole new world. You know what I mean? But but this dude really was like the pioneer for that, And when I found out that you could just watch this guy play on Twitch, I thought to myself, this is broken. Like I can just watch the number 1 player. You know what I mean? That this is so cool. A comment, Ducky will answer. And when Ducky's streaming on Twitch, he's also streaming in Discord as well, in the 20 Lore Pro Discord, is what I've learned. So yeah, man, some top players just giving out the goo, and he'll play some very
Yeah.
creative decks as well. He's not like an Amber Steel or a Ruby Amethyst only kind of guy. Like this dude will like play creative decks. This guy spent like 3 hours on stream trying to perfect Emerald Sapphire as a color, and it was an extremely interesting stream. You know what I mean? So do want to give a shout out to
Oh,
Ducky
Emerald.
as our number two in the top 5 streamers of Lorcana in 2023.
And at number one, we have where my Twitch subscription goes myself, Dude TCG. This guy is electric. His energy is, you can feel it when he's just playing the games. He's one of the best players out there as well. So it's not just like bad deck, haha. He's playing these decks with some skill, and he's very informative about his opinions and why he thinks the way he thinks about it. And he's very open about it with his chat. It's one of the best places to be. And if you do subscribe to him on Twitch, you get to get your name put on a card, which is one of the best ideas on Twitch out there. Obviously, my card is the Cusco card. I have it right on top of that boy's head. But if you want to watch Twitch Lorcana gameplay and you have like a lot of time to just have someone on the background, he's gonna be live. He's just live all the time.
I do believe he streams every day. When I see him post on Twitter, I do believe he mentions, "Hey, I am streaming Lorcana every day," and it's around 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock my time. So it's probably maybe like 11 to 12
I
o'clock.
repost it
Like
every time
Eastern.
I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
every day.
It's like 11, 12, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, in addition to that, he has plenty of other like days where he'll stream like specifically like either anti-meta or like stuff for ladder. But he has a second account where he'll stream subscriber only decks. So you don't even have to like you just have to be in the comment section. If you say, "Hey, I want to test this color combination out for locals," sometimes he'll just play it. Yeah, you know what I mean. And he's playing it at the top highest pixel-born ladder. And I feel like he's definitely one of the dudes to look out for. But do have some small honorable mentions. I do want to say a big honorable mention to Inkwell Gamers. I watch them their dual stream sometimes. The couple will stream together some pixel-born matches, and sometimes I also watch when they play tournaments as well.
I do want to give a shout out to Towelman Purple. He's one of the more entertaining pixel-born streamers out there as well. He's just fun. It's just a good time when you're in there, and if you want to lurk, it's a good option as well.
All right, now we have some more Lorcana goons that I want to pay respects to. We have a top 5 of the people you should follow to learn how to play or / get better at Lorcana. And some of these are some dear homies of ours, but so we don't want to make anybody feel bad or nothing. None of these are in a specific order, but just kind of more so in the top 5 order that we feel, in general, top 5 people you should follow to get better at the game. A lot of these people provide information on gameplay, like key terms, even deck lists. So we're going to start off the number 5 slot with somebody who's been grinding it out this year with just constant content, keeping us updated on the top deck lists from tournaments every week, and even some cool gameplay videos on some recent stuff. This is going to be a big shout out to the homie, number 5, Lorcana Villain. So thank you so much for everything you do for the community. If you guys want to learn how to play or just keep up with like any of the tournament topping deck lists and meta, be sure to subscribe to Lorcana Villain. He's super fast. I know our channel also does meta reviews and deck list breakdowns, but he does them in an entirely different way. And if you like Lorcana songs, he sings in between his videos, right?
Incredible. Yeah, Lorcana Villain is just one of the most entertaining guys out there. His voice, beautiful. I need a duet with Rebecca and him just singing it out to all of the songs in the game, and we'll watch the whole thing. Definitely very entertaining videos. If you're like me where you get distracted easily when watching like tutorial type of videos, his videos are fantastic for that reason. He'll get you entertained while learning about the deck as well. So shout out to the homie.
Another Lorcana goon constantly providing content for your entertainment / gameplay appeal is going to be Wintertooth, taking our number 4 slot right here in the top 5 people you should follow to get better at the game. Wintertooth pretty much uploads a video every day, man, and that is commitment right there, in my opinion. And a lot of the times he's uploading gameplay from a variety of decks. He's at 14,000 subscribers now, and he just keeps growing and growing, and it's literally every day. It's pretty dope, man. I like his commitment to it. I like the flow of his videos. They seem very candid and very live. They are a little long. You can tell that he streams them and doesn't, but you don't need to chop anything in between because he thinks out loud. So as you're watching him play, you can kind of pick apart his brain. Ooh, I like your cat.
Guest appearance by the cat.
Guest appearance
He
by the
had
cat.
some votes in this.
Oh
He had
yeah.
some votes in this.
Yeah, the cat was the decider for the tiebreakers for some of these, right?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah, number 3 we have Steadfast, one of the the beginning tutorial channels out there where you just kind of learn how to play the game, and then now they're just pumping out great content, just overall covering decks, new cards, breakdowns, everything. It's just if you want to improve in the game, it's one of the most consistent and just good quality overall for YouTube videos.
Great quality steadfast videos. Really nice guy as well.
Mhm.
And his videos are very tranquil. You know what I mean? If you just want to have like a chill, relaxing time learning about Lorcana, put on a steadfast video. He definitely knows what
Oh
he's doing.
yeah.
I feel like steadfast single-handedly got everybody to play crab in their Ruby Amethyst deck. He didn't invent it. There were people already doing it on Pixelborn, but when he dropped that video
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, it just kind of changed
Oh
the
yeah.
meta, dude. All right, who know who else makes great content? Our number 2 slot. This person was one of the first people I
Yeah.
had run into in the Lorcana space in terms of videos. Another OG that also was producing those how to play Lorcana videos, you know, or had the best decks of the format in the very beginning. You know, some of their videos hitting like 13 to 15K when their subscriber count was so low. But I do want to give a big shout out to Phonetic. They make some
Oh yeah.
amazing Lorcana videos, basically keeping you updated on not only some of the tournament meta breakdowns, but they also have gameplay on some decks that are trending, like the Mufasa Ruby Amber deck when it was coming out, or gameplay with cards like Weight Set in this chapter, you know, or even just kind of like how to play like hyper aggro correctly. You know what I mean? So some of these videos I think helped me
Mhm.
understand these decks a little bit, not only play them better, but understand the ins and outs of like how a player with this deck will act with their deck. You know what I mean? And I think it's really important to understand that
Yeah.
if you want to get better at the game. There's certain things about Lorcana that are very unique, and hearing other people's perspective on it
Yeah, definitely.
definitely helps a lot. And yeah, bro is committed. Love seeing his videos, and I can't wait to
Fantastic.
see more from Phonetic. Now, our number 1 goon that you should follow to learn how to play is probably one of my favorite YouTube content creators. They are one of the best Pixelborn players, one of the best Lorcana players on the internet space right now. Super active in all those discords that I just mentioned. Breezy, tell us who it is.
Hmm. And number 1, we got just electric guy, active on Discord, always doing things. One of the people that I always want to interact, just never find it. Zephyr himself. I love his videos so much. The funny little decks he's doing, just the breakdown of the videos he's doing. The decks are good overall. Just fantastic content. His just energy is incredible. It's just he's always nice from the small amount of interactions I had. He's just a good guy with great content, and he's so
Mhm.
good at the game. It's just
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. Zephyr has a lot of views, but this dude needs way more views. Because like he is seriously one of the better players in Lorcana right now. I love watching his videos. I learn so much from his lists. My friend, our other Lorcana goon, Zach Stone, actually just net decked his Amber Steel flute list the day after he uploaded the video. Saw amazing results, you know. Zach Stone is a great player, but I think when you take information from a great player like Zephyr and give it to good players like Lorcana goon Zach Stone, you know, you really see some results. And if you're somebody who just wants to get better at the game, this is one of the top channels you need to watch. He easily gets to number 1 on Pixelborn very frequently, and just you know has no issue grinding it out and getting back up there. You know, he pioneered certain decks like the Amethyst Steel deck list in the beginning of Chapter 2 format. You know, he was playing a list that pretty much inspired the way we play Amethyst Steel right now. And he's made a bunch of videos on the Amber Ruby and how to play that. You know, and his success rate. And same thing, I feel like he made a big impact on how we play the Amber Ruby deck right now.
He really gets to define the meta in the sense of like what kind of techs are out there. He's good at figuring out that and like showing it to people. And I think that's a great influence to just have overall in the sense of like making the game and players better. You get to learn the small things that you would never even think about until he mentions it,
Mhm.
and you just always remember it because he mentioned it once and it just kind of sticks. He pays attention to those details that really make the difference between a good player and a great player. And I think watching those videos from his will really elevate the level of gameplay where you get to see those little small details which make a big difference.
Shout out Zepha and shout out all the Lorcana goons that make awesome content that are to get you more equipped with the gameplay and the meta and just overall how to play. I do want to give out some honorable mentions to First to 20, Lorcana Decklists on Twitter, Zach Bivens on Twitter, Banabo Harka on YouTube, and Manticore on YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms. All of you goons do so much for the community to help us get better at the game.
Absolutely. I mean, all of those honorable mentions would easily be in the top. There's just so many. It's hard to pick. My Glimmer Wheel partner Manticore, one of the best players I ever talked to, Zach Bivens, all Lorcana Decklist, the First to 20, all just fantastic stuff overall. And those guys are just going to make you better at the game with their coverage, their deck list, all of that. And it's just all fantastic. There's just so many great people. And we just want to mention as much as we can here.
Yep, and
They're all Goonies.
Yep. And to round off the official Lorcana Goonies Awards by Lorcana Goons, hosted by Ybreezy and Kevin over here, we want to go ahead and go over one more top 5. This is going to be the top 5 cards in terms of artwork.
It's art, so it's obviously all based on scientific. It would just be data, right?
Yes.
But it's all our opinion. We went through a lot of all the card arts. And these are 5 that we're in love. This is so good. And at number 5 we have the Cheshire Cat, the big cat, the Floodborn cat. The art is just so beautiful. I mean, look at it. It's just the fact that he's kind of just there but not there. It just makes so much sense. And the foiling on it, if you ever seen the foiling, just kind of makes the cat just shiny and pretty. I mean, just look at it. It's so good.
Yeah, I was super hyped when this card came out, mainly because of the way it looked. Hoping it'd be a little bit better
Yeah.
in the format, but oh man, this artwork is super nice, man. I think one of the cool things about Lorcana is obviously the fact that we get Floodborn characters, and I think this definitely does justice to the concept of a Floodborn Cheshire Cat. And let's give a shout out to artist Jeff Murchie for this one, right? So, without these artists, we wouldn't have these awesome cards, man. Now we're going to go into our number 4 slot in the top 5 artwork cards. We have everybody's favorite bird from Rise of the Floodborn. This is going to go to Hey Hey Persistent Presence, bro. It seems like this card was taking over the Twitter feed for a while. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's super hyped on Hey Hey, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good card in general. Seeing some play a little bit. When it gets sent to the discard pile in a challenge, it goes back to your hand instead. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to artist Ellie Hori for the Hey Hey Persistent Presence art.
Not only this card is meta defining, the card art is so beautiful. At number 3, we have the giant Tinkerbell. It's just such a beautiful card created by Cookie, phenomenal artist, and it just encapsulates again the Floodborn ability of what if the character looked completely different. It's a giant fairy looking down to the pirate ship. I mean, it's just so pretty. The card is phenomenal. The foil art looks incredible as well, and it's just the concept of what if Tinkerbell was big makes just such a great art piece for it. And it's just one of my favorite cards overall, and the art happens to be just absolutely magnificent.
It takes advantage of the whole Floodborn concept, and Cookie even designed the enchanted version of this card, which is honestly up there too. It's just one of my favorites, and it's
Hmm.
Tinkerbell holding up the ship, and it's just so dope. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like this is a toy. You know what I mean? This is my toy now.
Yeah.
So that's always really cool to see. But let's go ahead and get on to our second place in the top five. We have one of the best songs in all of Lorcana, a card that lets you draw cards. This is gonna go to Friends on the other side. Very powerful card.
Ooh.
Some pretty cool artwork, in my opinion too. I just like the how mischievous, or how it seems so like devious. You know what I mean? And overall, like being able to draw cards in Lorcana is cool. And but being able to play this card, like the color scheme about it, seeing all of like Dr. Facilier's like world and the smoke. If you've seen The Princess and the Frog, you know you kind of know the vibe that this song puts on.
It's one of my favorite songs in Disney overall, and I think it just does justice to the entire like just the entire song as a whole. You just the spirits, the green looking spirits coming out matches the blue, the purple so perfectly.
Hmm.
It's just such a pretty card, and it's insane. And you always see Maleficent singing in Lorcana, but it's just such a pretty card with the green uh coming out of the purple. It's just so pretty. And again, I'm a big foil person, so I'm just gonna keep bringing the foil. But like the foil really makes that green pop a little bit more,
Hmm.
and that just the contrast of the colors makes it just even better. And every time I see a foil Friends of the Other Side, I just buy him on the spot because it's just so pretty.
That foil is nice. So shout out Amber Comavongza for this awesome artwork. You know what I mean? And now we have
Beautiful.
our number one slot. This is gonna go to none other than our favorite card, Breezy. Let me do a drum roll, please.
Number one, popular opinion, not gonna be a shocker. It was a dominant poll. You know, it was just so good. We got the Honey Wizard himself. Look, I know the card is bad. I get it, but look at the card art. It's just one of the best looking cards. That's why we have the playmat. That's why we got the pin. They knew what they were doing. I mean, this card looks so good. I just wish it had an ability. That would have been cool. But I mean, this card just the honey just doing swirls around it. He just looks so peaceful and like so powerful with his just sitting on a honeycomb. It's just so good. I don't understand why they didn't do any justice by giving it an ability, but like best art by a decent amount,
Yeah,
I would
so far.
say, is this card.
Yeah, oh yeah, the mat hits different. Overall, this easily one of the most favorite cards right now from people that I ask at locals or whatever. But yeah, man, something about it just looks really cool, very psychedelic. You know what I mean? Very tranquil.
Oh yeah.
Shout out John
Hmm.
Lauren for this amazing artwork, and shout out all these amazing artists for bringing these cards and these ideas to life. And we do have some honorable mentions that we wanna say, like Rapunzel Sunshine and everybody's favorite, Breezy's favorite.
We have the llama boy, the king himself, the emperor Cusco. I mean, it just encapsulate everything about Cusco by just that one simple no touch emotion.
Mhm.
I think Miss Gracie Tran absolutely killed it. It's one of my favorite cards, just period. Maybe a little biased. You can tell me in the comments if you want, but it's just overall one of the best cards that attracted me. It just encapsulates a character so perfectly in who he is as a person.
Right, right. Yeah, it's pretty spot on. Pretty spot on to the
Hmm.
to the IP, that artwork. And I think I love the fact that the actual
Absolutely,
effect is called no touchy. You know what I mean? That amazing
yeah.
artwork on Cusco,
It's
pretty
an
dope.
extra touch.
The last honorable mention, I just want to give a huge shout out to artist Cam Kendall for designing my favorite card, Goons, Maleficent Underlings. This card single-handedly changed my life, man. So I really appreciate,
Such a good card.
yeah, appreciate the Goons, Lorcana Goons artwork. I know it's so simple. It's a 1/2/2 card, but whenever I look at this card, I think about me and the homies. I think about me and the Lorcana Goons, me and Breezy, everybody that plays Lorcana. This is all us. We're all out there together, grinding out Lorcana like some
Goons,
real
just
goons.
I do want to ask the people watching this a question. Which goon are you? Which one? I just want to know.
All right.
Out of the ones on the picture, which one? Which one defines you? I feel like it's a Harry Potter house question. It's like you'll get to learn a lot about a person's choice by
right.
which goon they are.
I personally identify as the goon with the dagger and the yellow eyes. That's my favorite. That guy
Oh,
looks.
yeah, okay.
That guy's devious. That guy's big devious.
But yeah, let us know in the comments, man. I just want to know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments and let us know any other opinions how you feel about our top 5 lists. Remember, guys, this was not based off of any real voting system or nothing. We just wanted to give our opinions, but we do hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you guys check out some of these amazing content creators and be sure to keep playing Lorcana in 2024. We look forward to more artwork, more meta defining cards, more Lorcana content, guys. And until then, remember to stay tuned to Lorcana Goons. Ybreezy, do you want to say anything before we sign off? Any shout outs on the first Lorcana Goons Goonies Awards?
No, I think everyone in this list, obviously we couldn't mention everyone, but every content creator is fantastic that I've interacted with. I hope you guys keep doing it. And 2024 is only gonna get better. The Goonie Awards awaits you.
Right?
We'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Thank you guys again, and we will see you goons next time.